Really. It just counts you in. Like when they see you look at this new phone I got, when they see you looking at the camera, it just starts counting and then it goes record. So, okay, let's just start right here. Okay, guys, in this video, I am going to start telling my testimony. My testimony is not polished. Y'all know that I be all around the world and back. I got that little ADHD attention thing going on where it's very hard for me to stay focused and stay on one thing. So I'm doing multiple things at once. But I wanted to start telling my testimony. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go well or if I'm going to crash and burn, from doing it. But I got inspired by a content creator I have been watching heavily lately. Y'all know I love my content creators. This one is Wisdom Speaks Life. Y'all know when I get on YouTube, I'm either searching justice, because I love justice, true justice, God's form of justice, not man's justice. Man's justice is the direct opposite. It is injustice. I have a heavy passion for that. And I also have a heavy passion for watching my chosen one content, because I always in my life wondered what the heck was wrong with me. And then at age 40, I just screamed out as loud as I could, what is wrong with me, to the Lord, and he answered me at 40. I finally started getting answers as to what in the world was wrong with me. Why was my life the way it has been, and why since, and it's like I really can't remember I can remember good times, but they didn't last. They were like this. They were quick split moments of good time, and then the rest is usually bad times or survival mode times, or just struggle, almost like an endless struggle. And I couldn't understand why my life was that way. So I want to start telling certain testimonies. I'm going to pick a topic, and y'all know this is hard for me, but I'm going to try to put them in separate videos. So each testimony is its own story, and this is going to be a challenge for me to stay on topic and and just tell the story. But here we go. So I am going to do my intro, but I don't know if this is going to be on this channel. Y'all know I'm working on other channels that I already have, but my heart just pulls me to this channel. So I'm going to start working on other channels. So I don't know if this is going to be the home for this, or if it's going to be, something else that I pursue. I am in a point in my time, in my life, where I'm no longer going to be trying to figure it out. Like I said, when I was battling for my life earlier this year, prior to knowing that I was right there at DEATH's door, I felt like God was changing me somehow. Like everything was changing in my body, my eyesight. I'm legally blind. My hair, I ended up with locks. Like I didn't even intend to grow locks. I started losing weight, like just falling off weight. And I believe I felt the Lord just tell me to rest. I spent much of my life running, my 20s running. On this channel, y'all know what happened. So as soon as that happened with my husband, it ignited something, and I jumped up, and I've just been running ever since. So I would really say 18, but through my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s, I'm trying to run, but time is catching up with me. my body is catching up with me, and I no longer can just run like I've been running. So, what it is, you guys, it is Yo Girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. I am hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yes, his Your Girl Cadillac. And all fades to black means before my eye is rupturing. Before my eyes rupture and I am fully blind. I wanted to see my husband come home. I am making amends that I may see that day and I may not, but I am taking it and I am giving it completely to the Lord. And if it happens, it is what was meant in my life. It is God's will. I am seeking God's will in my life. So no longer am I trying to direct things, right? So that's what that is. If I feel led to do something, then I'm going to do it. If I feel led to do something else, I'm going to do it. So let's start. For those who may not know me, 44 years old. The things that just stick out, like if you were introducing yourself, I am a artist. I'm a very creative person. I have been since childhood, but in childhood I used to get in trouble for cutting up things. They just called it, my parents called it cutting up and tearing up the house. So throughout my life, I always just knew I was going to be an artist. I just knew that was my path in life. I was going to not be struggling like I am because, I'm an artist and going to have, whatever I need. Never that I wanted to be overly abundant, but I just knew I would not be in lack and struggle. So that's a big part of my life. I grew up in the church, like literally we could not go nowhere but church in school. And I kind of was like, ugh, like I can't do nothing. Mom, you won't let me do nothing. But I actually, all the things that I was taught, even if you try to run, God will pull you right back in. So throughout my life, God has always strategically, even if I was in one of those, I don't want to use the word rebellious, but in one sermon I heard rebellion. Oh my gosh, I heard it in Spanish and that thing still, that lives with me today. And that's an attest to God putting a person in my life. Like even if things are crazy, it was always one person God put in my life to keep me in remembrance of who He is and who I am, and to always guide me. But so I've always believed in the Lord, and I've always but I just along the way started feeling like He could do things, but just not for me. Like this is kind of, He created me to, if you create the good, you got to create the bad, right? And I felt like I was created to hurt, to have pain, to have injustice, to bear the brunt of things so that others don't have to carry the weight. Well, my shoulders big and broad because I carry the weight of others. I used to say that I was made, when God made me, I like to try to be funny, but a lot of times my laughter is just trying to hide pain. But I would always say that God made me from the scraps. After He made everybody else, He made me from what He had left over. And that it was kind of my purpose just to hurt. If you're going to give good to somebody, hurt has to go to somebody else. So I always felt like my hurt filled in the blanks for somebody so they didn't have to feel that type of hurt. And those were pretty much how I felt. I would never, never turn against the Lord. I would never do that. But I just kind of came to an acceptance that this is how my life is. I also kind of thought I was cursed. Like, anything I do turns bad, no matter how good intending it was, how pure of a place it came from, how much hard work I put in, how much effort, how much it was so supposed to work. It never did. It would always go left. It would never go straight. Like, the fact of I thought that, after not having love my whole life, and I finally found a man that loves me for me with my scars. So I was bullied for being Scarface. When I was in my childhood, I was ridiculed, rocks thrown at me and everything. And even with my scars, that man loved me no matter what. And I felt so happy. I felt so blessed. Lord, you gave me the love of my life. And thank you. For the first time, I feel loved. I've always been rejected. I'm the outcast. I am the black sheep. I'm the one that you call when you need something. But when I need you, I can't find you. You don't have the time for me. You don't pour back into me. I pour into you. You don't pour back. This is my life. This has been my life. From as young as I can remember, this has been my life. And God sent me this great love, and He loved me for who I am. I have been with other people. They didn't love me for me. And the moment I found that one, he was taken. That's the answer as to why I fought so hard and why I don't know how to give up. But I'm ready for God to fully take over that, because I know He got some type of plan in that and why all that happened. But yeah. So finally, me, the failure, the underdog, the one that my parents just, if you have that child that always seems to mess up, that child that just can't get it right, I'm my parents' child like that. It seemed like I can't do nothing right, though I try. I put my all into it, and I felt like I never made them proud. I felt like there's so many things. So, just like when I ended up pregnant with our daughter, my dad asked me, he said, "Are you pregnant?" This is the time, this was 2000. And yeah, it was 2000, October 2000. Marcello's birthday, soon after. But I had to wait on a pregnancy test, and it would come in the mail. So it was days later. It wasn't no instant. And my dad said, if you're pregnant, your life is over. And I wouldn't accept that. I'm like, no. This is just the hurt. I'm going to show you. And I don't know, in a way, I feel like I just proved him right. But then I have to give grace to myself. I beat myself up more than any of you or people with negative comments could ever do. I beat myself up. So I have to learn to give myself some grace. I raised a child alone. I finished college. I'm the 20-year college student. I started in 2000 and had to drop out by 2001. No, I tried to go back after having our daughter, but I dropped out completely in 2023. And I don't know if that recorded because this alarm kept going, but I dropped out in 2023 three completely. Um, Thought I would go to hair school and did not return back to college until 2016. And I finished in 2020, which made 20 years, but I failed due to the shutdown, so I had to repeat that course. So I am the 21 years college student. So I finally graduated. So when I look over the overall scheme of my life, I actually did get through all of these things, but just not in the timing that most people do. I've always arrived late, like super late. Like people have been here, people have been on this point, and you're just getting here. It's like my channel's 10 years old, 10 years plus, and it's people that get there just like that, or 5 years, or 2 years, or months even. So I'm the late arrival. I'm the one that gets there late, but I got there, right? So I'm in a place of learning to give myself grace. I'm also in a place of learning to love myself. I realize I have loved everyone around me way more than I have ever loved myself. I always felt not good enough to be loved. Who could love me? Why would you love? When people want to be my friend, I'm like, why in my mind? I'm like, why is this girl talking to me? Like, why do you want to hang out with me? Like, I don't know. That's just, and so I've been called negative so much in my life, and I do accept the feedback. I understand that you perceive it as negativity. I perceive it as not being negative, just being truthful about um, things that, yes, I do get the short end of the stick. Yes, when I try, it does pretty much always fail. It's not negative, it's just reporting the facts of what happened. So I've gotten told a lot in my life that the reason you don't get the things that you desire in life is because your negativity. And I don't care what they say. A person negative that is truly negative and not just reporting the facts like I feel like I'm reporting the facts would not keep trying the way that I do. When I fail, I'm almost the queen of failure. Everything my hands have touched, I've failed. Sorry, my granddaughter's interrupting, but queen of failure. So I gracefully fail. I'm like, oh, I should have knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna. Oh, I should have expected that. Like that's just how I accept it. I don't go through a thing and just. But yeah. So there's so many different things that I've overcome. I feel like some of the best things in life have happened to me, off the wall things, and some of the worst off the wall things that you can imagine. Like, who does this happen to but me? Case in point, prison wife life. Like, I'm the only prison wife like in the family. Um, Everybody else got to pick and choose and be married and be happy. I'm the one, you know. Uh, but I want to tell some of those stories. I had the intention of telling a story here, but it kind of went the way of reintroducing myself to you guys. Um, so let's just continue with introducing myself. Um, Going back to that outcast, I've always been the outcast. I don't fit in anywhere, not with my family, not with um, peers. I was bullied in elementary because I was the only BLK girl. I went to an all white T school. My family located from Chicago to Florida in the 80s when Florida was just developing, and my dad and my uncle great construction workers, built skyscrapers in Chicago, came here, worked on Shaquille O'Neal's house in Florida, worked on prominent people's houses. So he's a builder, he's a creator. And I believe all my creativity comes from that side. My uncle was an inventor. Um, when he passed, I know he passed with so many inventions. I kind of liken myself to my uncle. He was like, he wanted to be an inventor so bad, but things kind of didn't, his inventions just didn't take off. So he was a construction worker, but yeah. So I'm very creative, and I believe I get that from my father. But yeah, the black sheep of the family. Bullied because I'm the only BLK girl. All through elementary, I was talked about or ridiculed for my hair to the point where I cut my hair off, and then I looked even crazier. um, Bullied because I developed faster than the other little girls. They were all YT. I think it might have been one or two Hispanic, but I bloomed first, so I was picked on for that. Told stories, I tell this, where riding on the bus, the kids are telling me, I found out I was black, BLK, because a little girl told me. And I went running home to my mother and said, no, this girl called me BLK. And my mom said, Kita, you are. I said, no, I'm not. I'm brown. And you're yellow. And they're pink. And she was like, no, Kita, you are BLK. So found that out. They would tell me how the lake we passing is where they would delete the SLAVES. And I'm like, okay. Picture day was crazy. You know how they check the hair for lice? They would never check my hair. Your people don't get lice. They didn't do this. So everything was structured differently for me. Picture day, that little tiny fine tooth comb, they wouldn't even bother trying to comb through my hair, that they would comb through the other little girl's hair. They took my pictures and they were so dark and like not true colored and shadowy, like they just, there's the black girl's picture. Like, I don't know. I was just different. I'm always different everywhere I go. So then, growing up, going from an all YT school, my mother was like, okay, I think you benefit from going to an all BOK school. And I'm excited because now I'm not going to be the only BOK girl. I'm going to be filled a school with BOK girls and boys and everything. So I will not stick out. I will finally be accepted. It was weird because I came from an all YT school, so I listened to rock and roll. I was a skateboard girl. I was a tomboy to the core. I was different. So when I went to the all BOK school, I didn't quite fit in. They listen to rap. They don't listen to Bon Jovi. They don't even know Bon Jovi's song. Like, they don't know that living on a prayer. Boom, 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 boom. That is not their jam. Tommy used to work on something. But anyway, Gina where's the diner all day? I can't remember the song, girl. But that me and my sister were in love with John Bon Jovi. They don't listen to that. They listen to Snoop Dogg to them 1, 2, 3 and to the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up before I have to some. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together. Now you know you got trouble. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. To some going crazy. Yeah, so that was different. But I like that difference. That's where I fell in love with hip hop. And I felt a part of something. But being the creative that I am, I concocted my own skateboard, and I was pushing my sister on it, and the wheel hit a crack in the road, and I went across her head and slid across the concrete like I was making a home run in. I got up and I looked at my sister, and she immediately started laughing at me. She's like, I'm like, what's wrong? And I had skin all my face from here. The scars still remain. They're there. You see that dark area? All that dark went all the way down here. Here, all that was skinned off. And they said they had to treat me like a burn victim. I also knocked out my front tooth. I skinned my chest. I scarred up my knuckles. You see them. Those scars still remain, but they looked horrible back in the day. And I came to school the next time with a Band-Aid across my face. And I used to sit in school like this. This is how I would learn in school. Grow up, my hands are probably ashy and cuticles, whatever. But this is how I would sit in school. Trying to hear the teacher, but trying to cover myself. Band-Aids came off, and like, you know how we could wear masks now? Like, I wish we had that back then, because then it would have been a reason I was covering my face. Band-Aids came off, and it was completely scarred. And when it healed like dark against my complexion, so you could see the difference. And kids looked at me and made fun of me and called me Scarface. Ridiculed me. I mean, they would not let up all through class, all on the bus, at the bus stop. Just the only little bit of peace I got was when summer would come. But it also wasn't peace because I was the oldest of 4 siblings. I have a 5th sibling, but she moved back to Chicago. So I technically was like the built-in babysitter. There was complete chaos, noise, fighting, not a moment of silence, not a moment of peace in my household. So I went from that being bullied to this crazy chaotic upbringing. So it wasn't really peace, but it wasn't being bullied like that. And when I didn't have to watch the kids, I would just stay locked in my room, like all day. I didn't even come out. It was time for dinner. I get my food and come back. We didn't eat dinner as a family like that. And I remember my parents never checked on me. They never seen, was I okay? I don't know. I was just in my room, contemplating everything, wishing I didn't exist. Because all I exist for is pain. Everyone hates me, but if they knew me, they would love me. I'm a good friend. Like, why don't they like me? Like, they don't like me because of my scar. Because of my scar, and this is age 11, and I went through this all the way up to, I think, 16. Because I think 15, you're in the 9th grade center. My bully went to the 9th grade center and did not continue to the 10th grade. So 10th grade, I was free and off the hook. And then I used to pack makeup on my face so that I was still trying to hide my scars, hide who I was. Aaliyah came out with that swoop thing, so I started wearing that, and it kind of hid some of that scar. But I was accepted a little bit more, but the mentality was still to hide. I just wanted to be just like the other kids, because the other kids weren't picked on like that. And I was listening to Wisdom Speaks Life testimony, and she was saying that a lot of times when you're chosen to do something for God, you kind of, the enemy don't even let up on you while you're a child. He starts attacking you from the beginning. So thoughts of, Keita, you don't need to be here. Nobody wants you. Your family don't want you. Nobody wants to be your friend. No man wants you. You're ugly. You're Scarface. You're not even female, because that's what they told me. When the boy tried to sit next to me, and they was like, don't sit there, that's Scarface. And he was like, but isn't she still a female? And they said, no, that is Scarface. Like, as if my scars would wear off on them. And this is sort of where I picked up my creativity. My creativity have always been my shield. And I just started drawing. That's the only thing that people liked me for. That girl that can draw. But me, myself, they didn't care for me. That was a dark childhood. But I had a lot of good times too, which is crazy. So it wasn't all dark, but it was a long period of dark, like from the beginning. All I can remember is like, I just wanted to be like all the other kids. Like, why can't I just be like them? Like, literally, I wouldn't be going through this if I could just. But I'm going to stop right there because this is getting long. It's not really a single like topic in this video. My granddaughter's calling me. Yes, baby. Your baby doll? Oh, okay, I'll see you in just a minute. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Y'all, she was quiet for most of this video. So now she like, girl, I gave you that time. Come on now. But yeah, so just introducing me, and sometimes you're supposed to stay on topic on a certain channel. You're supposed to stay in your niche. So I do stay on Friend Marcello, and I do stay on Justice. But I just wanted you guys to see a little bit more of who I am, who Cadillac, who Keita. My name is Keita Dixon. But who Keita is, Cadillac's a part of me. That's my artist. That's me, the artist. Keita, the artist, is Cadillac. But yeah, so we're gonna stop there. I don't know if I did good. I don't know if I did bad, but whatever. I tried. Girl, I tried. All right. It's your girl, Cadillac. You hear her through the door. So she knows she interrupted me. Say it again. She just want me to get off this video so I can come in there with her. All right, y'all.